What's going on, guys? Welcome back to United View. Hope everyone is doing very well. Welcome back to another vision of the Transfer View. And well. You know, it's one of those mornings, yeah. You know, it is going to be myself and Fleck, yes. But what do you have? Flecknology. Flex will be here soon. Soon. But until then, you've got me. So be sure to smash the like on the like button. Be sure to subscribe button right-hand corner. Plenty to talk about this morning. Primarily, Marcus Rashford. And I know what you're going to say. I know what people are going to say. They're going to say, Owen, really? You're going to talk about Rashford again? Has this become, I'll do the KG voice, has this become the Rashford channel? Is that what it is? You're talking about Marcus Rashford? Well, of course, you've got to talk about Marcus Rashford because there's a lot going on with the Manchester United number 10 at the moment, in particular when it comes to rejecting not one, not two, but three bids. Well, three offers, shall we say. No bids were put in, but offers from Saudi Arabia to become one of the highest paid players on the planet. So we're going to be chatting about that. We'll also be talking about other rumors, other stuff going on. I think there's already been some sort of stuff about possibly a Victor Osimhen swap deal, maybe something like that. I think there's also been talk of Manchester United. Would they be interested in Gyökeres from Sporting Lisbon? I mean, the transfer window is well underway, isn't it? It's well underway, which of course means lots of rumors, lots of talk, lots of chatter. How much of it is real? How much isn't it real? We shall find out together through January. Aminor, with the first super chat of the day, says, will KG Scout be joining you on the Transfer View? Well, today, no. Flex will be joining me soon on the Transfer View. As I said, he's having Flecknology. New year, same Flecknology is what it is. So that's just we'll be there soon. We'll be there soon. So that is happening. But the Scout, haven't seen the Scout actually in a while. Haven't seen the Scout. They're not. It's not KG the Scout. They're different people. That gets confused quite a bit. People think that KG and the Scout are the same person. They're not. They're different people. So haven't seen. I think he's on a scouting trip. I want to say somewhere in Antarctica, doing some heavy scouting. We haven't seen him for. I don't even know if he's alive actually. But no, he's not. He's not going to. Yes. What else are people saying here in the chat at the moment? Javid's in there, says Flecknology. Lil Yo says M4 fizzle out. Wow, yeah. Might get a bit touchy about it, maybe. So don't really want to go into it too much. He might be like, well, he'll start saying, it's not my fault. It's not my fault. Well, you can ask him yourself whether he gets it. But let's talk about Marcus Rashford. Let's talk about these rumors and these links to Saudi. Now, of course, it's quite curious, isn't it? Of course, Rashford was it New Year's Day, went on his Instagram and highlighted a story from The Sun, didn't he? Saying that I think the story was suggesting that he had met with a number of agencies, possibly to broker a move to Saudi Arabia. And he said that's not true. And he hadn't met with any agencies or anything like that. But then curiously, just the next day, several outlets suggested that he had turned down 3 offers to play in the Saudi Pro League. Here's what they had to say. So this first came from Chris Wheeler from the Daily Mail, who said Marcus Rashford has rejected 3 offers from Saudi Pro League clubs worth up to £35 million a year. Again, a massive contract, massive wages, of course, those kind of things that are associated with the Saudi Pro League. It continued by saying that Rashford will only go to a competitive club and a league that would give him a chance of regaining his place in the England squad. Rashford is also open to staying at Manchester United. He is waiting for a recall from Ruben Amorim and will give 100% to the team. So not only you kind of get everything there, don't you? He's not going to Saudi. He wants to go to a club that's competitive, will help him get back into the England squad. Oh, and also he would be open to staying at Manchester United too. And if anything, he's just waiting for Ruben Amorim to, I guess, find the error of his ways, maybe, I was wrong about you, Marcus, and get back into the side. Perhaps, maybe that's the plan. I don't know. But it could be open to stay at Manchester United too. Now, Chris Wheeler also said that Manchester United would consider a loan move for Marcus Rashford if his new club pay a fee and cover the majority of his wages. Of course, something that might be a bit difficult. I mean, that's kind of what people are suggesting is ruling out quite a lot of the possibilities for a move in January is based on if anyone could actually afford the loan fee or anything like that. Now, Paul Hurst from The Times also said that the offers which Marcus Rashford rejected from Saudi Arabia would have made him one of the best paid players in the world at around, get this, £675,000 a week. Now, that is something when we spoke about yesterday when it comes to Cristiano Ronaldo going about how could they just tear up contracts? You're leaving a lot of money on the table. That is one that you could tear up a contract and both parties could be like, look, you're going to get more money elsewhere. That could be fine, but he doesn't want to go to Saudi. So it's just interesting that was the money that was offered. Hurst also said that staff at Manchester United's training ground say that Marcus Rashford has been working hard to improve his form rather than sulking because of his absence. And Fabrizio Romano kind of swept up on all of this, as he does, and said that Marcus Rashford has no interest on a Saudi Pro League move for the January transfer window. That's the idea so far. Saudi's not seen as an option under consideration by Rashford now. But I guess a bit like the Ivan Toney situation in the summer, where initially I don't think the Saudi Pro League was his first option or anything like that. But as the window gets closer to closing, anything's possible and anything can happen. Flex, welcome back. Thoughts on everything that you saw right there? Well, muted. He's muted.
Morning. Big up to everyone. Yes, the Rashford stuff and all of that. I mean, look, I'm not surprised at this stage why he doesn't want to go Saudi. I didn't ever think that he would want to go there. It's interesting about how the economics are in this deal throughout, because what we've got is we have Ineos who are, not going to be pushovers, apparently. They're going to be strong on this. They've already began, even though it's saying it's led by Ruben because he's not picking him, but it would be with the backing of the hierarchy, let's be honest. They're committed to moving Rashford on. But also you're going to have Rashford's side of things and Rashford's camp where they believe Rashi's up here. He's way up here. He's a huge brand. He's a big player. And the whole, I don't even know if he's still with Rock Nation, but, to them, this is like LeBron's moving franchise. Like it's big. You know what I mean? So it depends how much Rashford wants to, or his people, his negotiators are willing to be flexible to how much Marcus just wants a clean break just to see what it's like. Is his instruction, no, I just want to go like somewhere in Europe where I can just clear my head. The money's like, as long as it's there or thereabouts to the summer, I don't care. Just get me out of here so I can clear my head, get a clean run of games. Start getting back in the England team, etc., etc. Or are they going to put their foot down and say, listen, we have our signed piece of contract here till 2028. You can't, you either pay us all of this or we ain't going anywhere. And then what does that look like? How much does Rashford really want to leave? But not going to Saudi. I'm not surprised the Saudi bids have come in. Of course.
Yeah.
Of course they would. Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. Marcus Rashford at 27, Saudi Pro League they'd pay whatever it needs to pay. But they do have problems, obviously, at the minute. They're full on quota for foreign players as well. But, whether they need to jig some things around.
And also, as well, I think they're trying to move away from the idea that they're just signing sort of players towards the end of their career for big money.
That would dispel that. They would be getting someone in their prime.
Yeah, they're trying to get players that are more in their prime years anyway. But I think...
No surprise that's happened. Want to go there.
No, and everything that's happened in the Saudi Pro League over the last sort of 18 months or so, I think that first summer, not this past one, the summer before, where all the players were going there and people were like, bloody hell, keep an eye on this league. Let's see what it's going to be like. And then sort of 18 months later, everyone's like, well, attendances still aren't. It's like, it's not, that buzz about it isn't really there like it was.
They still want to reignite. They still want to keep it. Yeah.
Exactly. So, and also then you get the other part of it where some people, when they go there, do they or don't they play in their international teams? I think that one, it's a case-by-case basis. It depends on the person.
Depends how big you are.
And depends on the coach of the team or anything like that. You could make an argument maybe with a Thomas Tuchel, who's officially in post now as the England manager. Would he pick Marcus Rashford if he was playing in Saudi? I don't know. Would he pick him if he's playing for Manchester United? Probably not, right? That's the situation where he's at too. So I don't know. I mean, I'm not surprised that early in the window, he says no. But it'd be very interesting to see if that offer was on the table towards the end of the window and there was nothing else there. If Manchester United would say to him, Marcus, maybe you should think about that, or if he would consider
I still don't think he would.
That was a bit like, again, I was a bit like what happened with the Ivan Toney thing in the summer, wasn't it? Where he wanted to move to the Prem or somewhere around that. And then it just became obvious, Brentford were playing hardball when it came to the amount of money. No club were willing to pick that up. And it was like, well, you're going, I'm going. I've got a year left of my contract. It's got to be now. And he ends up going to Saudi. So something like that.
And that's what I think. That's why what happened, because Rashi's got like 3 years left. And it's like, it's a lot of money. That's a very lucrative deal. And I don't think he'd just go to Saudi because it's like, oh, well, I'd rather be anywhere but here. I know it seems like that now, but I don't think they'd advise him to go. Because also, his aspirations of playing for England, he ain't paying for England by playing in Saudi, no chance. Like, the problem that Rashford's got is how low his level's been and how long he's been at the England squad for. It's not enough to go to Saudi and score some goals. And then all of a sudden in 2026, you're going to be in the World Cup. It's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen.
And also, I don't think it's any coincidence that on New Year's Day puts up the thing on his Instagram to say, I'm not meeting with agencies about this story. That's not true. And then literally the next day, you get a thing coming saying he's rejected 3 Saudi offers. And also that came from not just one journalist, it came from several, didn't it? It came from Chris Wheeler, it came from Paul Hurst, it came from others. So clearly there was something put out there by some parties to sort of say, he did have offers. He has had offers. And now what the intention is to that is, because, and again, I mentioned this when I was reading the story, that every base was covered with it too. Doesn't want to play in Saudi, would be open to a move if the club's in a competitive league and, and it's a club that he's basically interested in. Open to stay at Manchester United, waiting for a recall to the team. The staff are happy with his training at Manchester United too. So it's sort of it's almost like I looked at it as Rashford, literally, Team Rashford, Camp Rashford, putting all the cards on the table. This is what we're open to. We're not open to Saudi. We are open to moving away. Manchester United are open to a loan as well, if there's a fee and a big portion of his wages are covered, because that means they can get a replacement in, even if it's a loan. Or he's open to staying and he's waiting for Ruben. A bit like at the weekend, if Ruben Amorim says, hey, I'm going to be in the squad at the weekend. Okay, I'll be in the squad.
What do you think about this open to staying thing? Really, what do we think about this in the community as well, guys? Get involved. Is that just a bit of a PR briefing or media briefing in terms of say, just in case it doesn't go right, like I'm still gonna be professional, like I'm not turning my back on Man United. I haven't down tools. I'm training as usual. I was called into the squad the other day. I wasn't used, but I didn't make a fuss. I was just on the sideline doing my warm-ups, didn't get used, no problem. If I'm called onto the bench against Anfield, biggest game of the season, one of, like, I'll be there. Like, what is there is that just, like Patrick said, it's BS, but is that the general consensus that he's just saying that? Or maybe he hasn't said that, it's just media stuff. It's like he's still employed by us, of course. You have to just do your job.
What I mean. This is what I was saying when he was named in the squad the other day, wasn't it? I don't see his inclusion in the squad, or even if he plays, as like a big indicator, right? He's definitely staying, that everything's resolved, because I think it's kind of beyond that. Because it's not like a Sancho situation, or there's not been a major fallout or anything like that. There isn't this like frozen out, cut and dry kind of thing. I think it's just a case of the head coach doesn't really rate him that much, and the club, who are also struggling with PSR, they think it's come to the end of his time there, and they're probably earmarking him as someone that's a big sort of revenue earner, that at a time that they need to buy players or reinvest into the squad, he might be perfect to do just that. So I think that's what it is. And again, I think that story yesterday, I felt like it was just putting all the cards on the table. All right, this is what we're interested in. It's not necessarily just about money, because if it was just about money, we'd go to Saudi and we double our wages and we get that and it would be fine. It's not just about that. We want to go to, you know, a competitive club. We want to go to a club where he's going to be playing all the time. A loan could be an option, i.e., we've spoken to Manchester United, and if you can put a fee together and cover some wages, that could be an option for January. Or if no one does come in, we'll stay, you know, and we'll wait it out basically. And if we get back into the team, we do. If we don't, we wait till the summer and we see what kind of happens. It felt like maybe an extension of the interview he did with Henry Winter the other day, where it's I want a new challenge. Now it's like specifically, this is what it would take for me to go and seek new challenge. You know what I mean? It felt a bit like that. And I suppose the interesting part is, are they the only offers that he's got so far? Is it just the Saudi offers and everyone else going, well, we can't
that's what's going to be. That's what's going to be exactly, because, like you say, that's where the economics of this deal comes into it, and the flexibility and this level of, you know, playing chicken or poker or whatever, like between the two camps. When you were saying it about, like, it's that between Amorim and these players, like who goes first and all this stuff. You know, it's literally Ineos versus, you know, Marcus Rashford's camp, and it's going to be fascinating to see how this goes. We don't know what stipulations or what non-negotiables that Rashford has put to his camp to say, you know what I mean? I don't care about money. Just get me out. Do you know what I mean? Because they must know they're not going to be that attractive to Premier League clubs for that money. But what demands are they putting to Man United to say, okay, you obviously want to sell me. You want me to leave. I said I wanted a new challenge, so I'm ready to leave. Are you willing to match my wages for a loan until I leave? Are you willing to drop the transfer fee to reflect, you know, something reasonable so I can get out of this? Or is the club saying, you want to leave as well? You have to meet us halfway. You have to be acceptance that you might not get a payout of X, Y, Z. Like, how, do you know what I mean? How strict are they being? That's what we don't know. That's what we don't know.
Yeah, that's what we don't know of it. I mean, again, it's difficult because it does feel like with everything with Rashford at the moment, it feels very sort of posturing from all parties. I still say I just don't know if I can see how that's going to happen. I know that there are talks about, you know, but possibly go Napoli and swap deal with Osimhen and this, that, and the other. Like, if any, it feels like the least complicated deal to do was him going to Saudi. The rest,
yeah,
that's very complex.
Well, Saudi's always the one that can come and take away all the pain, like because of the resources that they have.
Yeah.
Casemiro at the time was on 3 years left. 3 years left at 350. The only people that can just walk in the door and say, do you want to come here and get even more than what you've got now? And we'll pay you off that, or whatever it is you want. Yes? Yeah. Okay, come with us. They're the ones who can make it go away. The problem is like you say, that at this moment, the level of football that's there, how it's viewed of younger players, if you want to get into your national teams, it's not great at the minute. So yeah, it's very, very difficult. I don't know. I just don't see. I don't know where he goes. I don't know where he goes.
No,
the Napoli thing seems like an easy thing because you've got the situation. You've got Osimhen. He's not happy there. Really, they want to sell.
Well, not even on paper. Just it seems like an easy thing saying out loud, but actually, when you do put it on paper and you go, so what are the finances involved in this one again? You know, like it feels very, 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 very confusing. So I don't know. I don't know that. That's as we've said for the last however many weeks, is that this is the problem when it happens at this time of the year versus in the summer. Is in the summer you go, if this was like, you know, May and this was happening, you go, he'll be gone in the summer. They can figure something out. When it's December, January, you go, not impossible, obviously, but improbable. And somewhere someone will have to make a compromise, basically. You know, whether it's, you know, United, whether it's the Bayern club, whether it's Rashford financially, someone will have to make a compromise. A bit like when Sancho went to Dortmund last year, when you go, well, I'm not going to cover all the wages. You know, there's going to be a bit of a fee there. And if he does well in, you know, this competition, or if we win this, okay, you get a little bit more. That's what it will probably be. And then you go into the territory of, with Rashford, if he does go on a loan like that, we'll still have to replace him, you know, in terms of just having the extra body in the squad. How do we do that? You know, is the deal that we're getting for him enough for us to find something in January, considering how tight we are on PSR too? So There's all of those different factors. And then is there even a person out there that we can get in January too? Like who are we targeting? So it's very complicated. And I think that if something does happen, you feel like it would go to the end of the window and then maybe might be quite late. But we shall see. It's still early days, Fleck.
Yeah, we shall see. We shall see. Do you think? Well, actually, let's get the super chats out. Actually, did you get to any of these?
I did.
Or these all
Aminals.
first. All right. Okay. So we go to the second one. Shout out to you, Aminal, as well. Good morning. Tag says, "New year and new mentality. We need to get busy every window. Maguire must come to Saudi. Rashford still has a lot to prove. I would loan him out. When you say that, what do you mean? Loan him out as in what? To let him prove it and then come back and be the player for us, or you mean?" Because that's the easiest way of like sorting something out. Let me know what you mean there, Tag. You've also gifted five WCW memberships, five time. View memberships. Big up to you and shout out to the beneficiaries of those memberships. And Tag has also become a member himself. So Tag is feeling very generous.
Busy morning. Yeah,
2025, mate. He's straight in, UV member and sharing the love with 5 others as well. So shout out to you, Tag. Really appreciate that. And welcome to the family, my bro. Joe Fleming says, "Yo, Owen, would you be interested in going on What the Devil from time to time to freshen up that show?" Oh,
yeah, maybe. Yeah, mate. Yeah. Maybe.
Why not? Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Shout out, Joe.
Yeah.
And so Ryan says, look at that other day. Look at that other day.
I think there might be a comment.
Look at the other.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that other day.
Look at that. Pause. Another day.
Right. Another day of Rashi feeding the poor. Useless, irrelevant, yet always on thumbnails. Owen in full-blown hypothetical overdrive again. So Ryan is in full-blown troll drive, as usual. The news is the news. You know?
Don't talk about the news.
Yeah.
How dare you? How dare you talk about the news?
Stop making up an article that Chris Wheeler wrote himself. That's in the Mirror. Yeah, stop doing that. Or the Mail, sorry. Yeah. No, Mirror. Tabs, big up Tabred says, if Rashford doesn't leave by the end of this window, then I will sing Twinkle, oh wow, by Dexter Daps on my next fan cam. I'm certain his United career is over. Yeah, but it's just about where though, bro. Well, who can afford it? What does it look like? Akil says, serious question. Does Rashi have self-respect? I mean,
I think he does. Maybe that's why he's saying not going to Saudi. You know.
Yeah, he could just go there now, innit? He could just go there now and say, I'm going for the money. You know, big opportunity, generational wealth. Like he hasn't got that already, but you know, yeah, he could. So let's see. In terms of the rest of the transfer window, and wing backs and other strikers and. Obviously, think we haven't really heard any rumors yet. We've got Kirkes on the list and things like that, but it hasn't really been anything yet for like bona fide wing backs yet. Has there?
No, not for wing backs. I mean, there was some stuff yesterday talking about how United might be interested in Victor Gyökeres, and this is what we kind of warned about, isn't it? Saying that it's always the case every transfer window. There are stories to write, aren't there? So they sometimes just do the easy ones. I think most sort of say that Gyökeres, not even just necessarily to Manchester United, just in general, he wasn't probably going to go until the summer. Sporting are in their own kind of situation where they had their new coach for like 6 weeks and then already gone. I don't doubt maybe they would want to lose their sort of star striker, although his form has dropped off since Amorim left as well. But then I think Sporting,
everyone's going to say he's gone back. He's shit now. It's the coverage of Gyökeres.
Exactly. But Sporting have also I think dropped off a little bit too. So
they're still top as well, but they're joint points. Porto.
Yeah. So, but maybe it's just Amorim and Gyökeres need each other, and then they both be successful. I'm not sure, but yeah, when it comes to the rest of that, like I said, there haven't been. I still think that everyone's kind of like not in shock, but everyone's sort of waiting for sort of the dust to settle after just this run of games that we've had recently, and I don't know, maybe they're waiting till Sunday to write those stories again of like Man United get pumped like 5 or 6-0 at Anfield, and it's like they're gonna need 5 players in January. This is what they're going to need. It feels like it's all eyes on the game on Sunday. KG did say we have one striker away, but that was a
Yeah.
long time ago. That was
Yeah.
that was a long time ago. You know, I remember sitting in the studio with him. When
Harry Kane, innit? He just wanted that, yeah.
At the time, being like, KG, we are not one striker away, and
That will never die.
no, that would never die.
It won't. It will never die.
Yeah.
And in terms of, you know what? In terms of like, you know, we have to sell to buy. I saw a thing about again, the source wasn't great. It's just these are, you know, things are just clutching, but it's just things you see about the Xerxes situation with Juve.
Oh yeah, I saw that. Possibly a swap with Vlahovic, you know.
Yeah, I mean that's just not going to happen. But you know, it just got me thinking of like, who is sellable? Who is? I know everyone's got their price, but who? I saw Anthony. I think there was something with Betis. You know, they've come in and offered something like, obviously, again, probably not true, but in terms of if you looked at the types of players that were really available in this January, that Ruben would say, yeah, he's not part of my. You know, you're looking at Casemiro, you're looking at Anthony. I think you are looking at Xerxes. To, like, if they could get a short-term fix and get something else, I think they probably would. But
yeah,
he wants to fight. It is early to write someone off still, though. You know, squad's not settled. Spent 35 million on him this summer.
Yeah, I mean, there's the Xerxes one yesterday. I just found it a bit laughable, to be honest. The idea that why would Juventus? I mean, I know that they've got Motta, and obviously they had the good relationship when they were at Bologna. So that's the link, isn't it? Really,
100%. That's the reason why it could happen if it did.
Yeah, if it did, because they're like, well, he played with him at Bologna, he got his best out of it, so take him to Juventus. But it's like, well, Vlahovic. I mean, I know that time changes some things, but I remember a couple of seasons ago, Vlahovic, he was like the guy, wasn't he? He was like the striker that people wanted around Europe. Constantly linked to Arsenal, wasn't he?
All
I remember
the time.
every transfer.
He was pretty much an Arsenal player.
Every transfer you hear Don Robbie, Vlahovic, you know, be something like that. And and
is that Robbie talking?
Vlahovic.
Oh, I was gonna ring you while I was live. Yes, I couldn't. There was so many. No. Wait a minute. No. Hold on. It was like they're even better than these ones. You might have to go back to yesterday.
No, wait a minute. Wait.
It ain't got. It's just it's without KG in the background. It was him. Yeah, it was Owen. They were perfect. I might have to go back and send you the timestamp. It was because he was getting onto AGT again. Oh, he done an amazing thing. Just made up something AGT said, and then they went and found the receipts, and he didn't say it. He's like, wait. He said, wait a minute. No, hold on. Wait a minute. You said that you would take the money from Saudi for Salah. You cash in on 200 million. Asia, I never said that. You've just made that's blasphemy. I have not said that. Find the clips, and then DR they've gone onto that video. He literally did not say that. Robbie's just said he said it. But you go, no, wait a minute, hold on, wait a minute. You said it was perfect.
You said.
Oh, Don Robbie, mate. What a guy, mate. What a guy, honestly. But what was we talking about? Exactly.
I forget. Oh yeah, the Xerxes stuff. Yeah, so like, I don't think I can't see that swap happening with Vlahovic or anything like that. And also, look, when it comes to some of the strikers, this is a bit of a spoiler for the Trinity that come out later today. You know, KG, shocker, is a big fan of getting Victor Osimhen in at Manchester United, and it goes back to like a lot of people are saying about strikers. And yeah, you can. I think it's fair to say, you know, Xerxes and Højlund, they're not the guys even for right now or whatever, but. It's also service, isn't it? Okay, let's drop Victor Osimhen in that team right now. Does he score 20 goals? Does he score 25 goals? Probably not. You know, our creativity is pretty shit. Now,
but where do we stand on that, though, of getting the players? Because you have to start getting the players that will get you
somewhere.
Yeah,
you know?
Like the first batch of like good players, we could just say, yeah, well, we've got 2 wing backs though, but are we really going to be? You know, you've still got Højlund up front, or you've still got. You know, Casemiro and Eriksen all wet. Do you know what I mean? It's still going to be a caveat until there's more of them than not.
It does feel a bit self-fulfilling prophecy. Just giving up. Just for giving up a little bit, isn't it? Of going like,
shut the channel down. Shut the club down. Don't buy anyone. Don't ever buy anyone.
It does feel a bit like that. But we put so much emphasis on them, don't we? That's the problem. It's like with Ugarte in the summer. Our midfield's fixed now, Flex. Why? We signed a guy. It's like, well, it's not. It's not.
No, it's not.
Now, I mean, like, I think most people like a guy, and they're like, oh, you know, we felt him not playing the other day, didn't we? Absolutely, but we're like, still got problems. But to your point, if you might as well then not try if you're just like, well, it won't make a difference, I suppose. Yeah, but we might have the same conversations about an Osimhen or whoever who came up going, doesn't really have a lot of service. Of are they really there? You know what's going to happen, innit? Or we start resenting him. Don't wear that stupid mask, all the time.
Yeah,
mask
because
bullshit.
I think, do you know what? Because it was funny because Matisse on the show yesterday said something about, there was a super chat that asked me, would I take Kulusevski? And I said, oh, absolutely. And then, but Matisse was like, yeah, he'd die if he went Man United. Like, he just can't go there. I've seen him when his confidence is too low. Can't go Man United. And obviously, I just let him say it because it's like, we're shit. But in my head, I was like, we're basically not allowed to like try and buy anyone because it's like we can't start. We can't start. We can't start undoing it because what will happen is they've still got Bruno, they've still got Garnacho, still got Martinez, still got Maguire, still got De Ligt, still got Mazraoui, still got this, he's still got that. None of them's good enough. Them two win backs and that 10, Kvaratskhelia, he's gonna sink because everyone else is crap. Yeah, but we have to start.
Yeah, but you could also see why
they say it.
I can kind of push back on this in the summer, and I do kind of get it. Like, and sometimes it goes a bit too far. Like when we signed De Ligt in the summer, and immediately that turned into and it wasn't United fans; it was everyone else. It was telling United fans he's rubbish, he's shit. He's not any good. He was dropped by Tuchel. He never played. Blah, blah, blah. Every time he goes on international duty, like that, and you go, "Well, this feels a bit much." And then when you watch him play, you go, "It's not that bad." But I don't know what are they trying to protect us from ourselves?
They are because also we're then in this bit where we go, like, put your hand here, and like, how good is De Ligt for what we like? You go. He's competent. He's all right. He's not
all right.
Terrible.
Not as bad as people were making out.
He's not, and that's the key. He's not as bad as people are making out.
He's not as good as maybe some thought he was. But then isn't that just modern sort of football? Nowadays it's so extreme, isn't it? You've got particularly at United, you've got people that are non-Man United fans just raining down, you're rubbish, you're shit, and then Man United fan, no, shut up, you don't know what you're talking about. You're just a hater, is what you are. You're
Owen,
just a big hater.
I'll paint the picture for you. Right, twice I did this, and I'll talk about it now. Twice at the beginning of the season, I had that rant on TalkSport. First of all, when everyone was like, "Yeah, Flex, you tell him." I was like, "You all wanted Ten Hag to get sacked, and don't tell us we've had a shit window. We've got Mazraoui and we've got Thingy for a good price. We've got a young kid in Xerxes. We've signed, everyone thought the Euro was going to go to Real Madrid. And everyone said, I remember all of the comments my way, all the DMs, positive, because I remember, well done, Flex, shut them all up. This, that, and the other, right? Then I went on Sky, and then it was like reasons to be excited or something. And I think Xerxes was, I was at the Sky Pad, and I went, we will get excited about Xerxes. Do you remember? Don't tell us not to get excited about.
You said specifically, you were like, and you guys, and I've been on Sky today. People have been saying, it was one of those ones, and everyone was like, "Well done."
I'm defending our club. I'm defending our club because we just had an awful season, and we were filled with optimism, saying, "Let's get behind our guys." You know what I mean? Let's think positive. So I was on, national broadcasting outlets.
Yeah,
really going for this. 3 months later, my manager's gone. Xerxes terrible. Our signings ain't that good, and I look like an idiot. So that's how it goes. That's why I'm that. So if you lot are saying, why is Flex like this now, predicting 4-0s and so, because I'm done. Like I'm saying what we are. Like the first part of this, like they say, the first part is the acceptance. Like this whole, like, oh, come on, man, don't let people say, I couldn't give a crap anymore. I'm saying what I see this team be. That's it. That's it now. I don't care. If that feeds the rivals' narrative or it makes them laugh at us more, we bring laughs and embarrassment onto ourselves, guys. Look at us. Like, don't worry that, the Liverpool fans are going to say this or the Arsenal fans are going to say this, or don't let Villa fans say it. We are a laughing stock. Get over it. That's what we are. We go into games predicting we're going to lose, just like on Sunday. And until such point, the only way we can not think that anymore, and if you want to call that flip-flop, call it that. I don't care. The only way I will change that is when there's new evidence that suggests we're not that team anymore.
Yeah.
That's it.
And
Simple.
and the worst thing is like in the summer with the window, not so much performances, but with the window, it felt like maybe there was it's not as if like you can't go back in time and rewrite history. There was an element of puffing the chest out in the summer, wasn't it? Because it was like, oh, we made some good signings here. And yeah, I know it wasn't great last season, but won the FA Cup or whatever. And then in retrospect, the signs were there in pre-season, weren't they? They were.
Yeah,
they were. A lot of players weren't there.
We're still playing like it now.
Yeah, a lot of players weren't there, and it felt like, well, just with the players back, it'll be fine. But nothing.
Well,
really
no, it didn't. We went, we're not ready. Remember, there's no play. We're not. Oh my god, we're not ready.
Yeah,
and we played against Fulham on that first game, and we scraped that 1-0 win. We went.
Well, and also we played in the Community Shield, and we actually did all right in that game.
Yeah,
we probably should have won it, and we should have won. We were like, actually, you know what?
Yeah, that was
okay. All right. It's not bad. Lost on penalty. Should have scored some goals. All right, yeah, that's okay. And then, like I said, played Fulham, and it was like. Didn't play terribly, to be fair, that game.
No, we should have scored. Bruno missed.
Bruno should have scored a couple. And you're like, okay. And then Xerxes scored. We were like, right, this is great.
But there were points where Fulham were bopping it about though. Like we can't get the ball.
And then second game, we lost to Brighton at the Amex. We were like, here we fucking go. Here we go again. And then it's just that's what it's been.
And then the next game
was
Liverpool at home. Remember, 3-0. And then it just went on from there, really. So
yeah, and that reminds me of a bit like the Ollies last season. And obviously the first game when we played Leeds and we won that was at 5-1 or whatever, and it was great. Like, oh, this is amazing. And then like I remember sort of 5 games in, even people like to say about Ronaldo came in and then everything went to shit. Like I remember the first few games of that season before he was in, we were not good. We were sort of like scraping by some teams. Like I think we drew like Southampton. We beat Wolves 1-0, and like the writing is always on the wall early on. You know what I mean? Early on, it's just we've never in my lifetime I've never experienced a collapse like this. You know what I mean?
We haven't played good for so long, have we?
There's been no bounce.
So long.
There's been no bounce. No, you know what I mean? No sort of little bit of a fight back. There's been nothing. Zero. You can't even say the City game because City are so bad. You know what I mean? So that wasn't like, oh, that was the bounce turnaround. We obviously you're for it because we're so bad. We thought, oh my god, when the manner in which we won last minute, it was great.
It counts. Yeah.
But then when you do take a step back, you actually go.
Was it that good?
Like,
most of the game we couldn't attack, couldn't do anything.
Yeah, and then like Everton, we obviously beat them Old Trafford 4-0, and I think people thought, well, here we go, that's 4-0, that's something, that's different.
But even at the first half an hour,
even that for 25 minutes, Ruben Amorim was going to make changes at 30 minutes. He told people to start warming up, and then we scored, and he went, well, I won't change it now. You know, it was that.
And he said after the game, that was the famous quote of the Storm's coming.
Yeah, I think all Elite says it there in the chat. It's true. Like. I'm telling you now, Flex, when we played Ipswich, and we scored within the first minute.
Yeah.
That's probably the highlight of our season.
I looked at KG and Marcel was like, is this what it's going to be? It's so refreshing. Like, look at this.
And Avery did the sort of no celebration turn, and everyone, and it was Rashford as well. Everyone went, here we go. And then, since then, that was the high point. Really?
Yeah, it's peak times, guys. It really is. Like there's been no improvement in a long time. There really hasn't been any improvement in a long time. There's a super chat here from Akil said, "Why is Spurs not in a relegation battle if United are?" Well, I said this on the show the other day. They're a couple of points ahead of us, aren't they? So yeah, if we're in a relegation battle, then they should be. Diego Leon is on his way to do his medical, Owen, as well.
I saw that. Yeah, they were saying yesterday he's flying out. I saw one of the aggregator accounts described it as major breaking. I thought that's maybe a bit of an overstatement to call it major breaking. He's coming in the summer, isn't he? And even then, I think there's discussion he might be a bit like Kone or Obi Martin or what have you, which like he's going to be in the under 21s for maybe like a year, 18 months. And kind of go from there. Do you know what it is as well? Is quite frustrating with those things. If we were in I say half decent position at the moment, even if we were like 7th or 6th, we'd be looking towards like people like Kone or whatever and going, I tell you what, in 18 months' time or a year's time, they'll get into the first team squad and that'll really prove dividends for us. And we're like that. I'm trying to think of a good analogy. It's like it's like a fruit on a tree Flex, and it's not ripe yet, but we're desperate to pick it. We're desperate to pick it.
Going to the guy every day. You ready?
Because we're hungry. We're hungry. We're going, I know that's not ripe yet, and I know that's not ready.
Might even have it now.
But I'm starving. You know what I mean? You're going kind of. I'll leave it. I'll leave it. And then you walk around going, I'm so hungry. That's what we're like with some of those players. That's why it's like with Obi Martin. You see those clips of him doing his like individual training, and he's scoring goals, putting it in the top corner, and we're going, we don't see that. None of our players do that in the first team squad. Maybe we should bring him in. Maybe we should get him in. You go, no, just wait. You've got to wait. Give him the time, because if they come in, it's a double-edged sword. If they come in and they do badly, then it's like they're done. They're terrible. If they come in and they do, if they come in and they do well, you fall into the Cobby Garnacho realm, which is you'll do well initially, but when you drop off, because you will drop off, you're terrible, and you're overrated, and you're never that good. So you just got to kind of wait.
It's crazy because Thomas Tuchel's like England team in March, like it probably would include Cobby Mainoo, but like the feeling of him now in this season, like how everyone's been speaking about him because Man United have been dross, and we were dross last year, compared to him bursting on the scene last year and scoring that goal against Wolves and scoring the goal in the FA Cup final, scoring that goal against Liverpool. Yeah. It's funny how, like, if you have some iconic moments, people's ears will prick up more rather than just continue to just do the things you do. Even the Adam Wharton hype now as well. Palace down the bottom a bit, not really great. He's in and out the squad, but then it was, we have to go and get this kid Adam Wharton, go pay 100 million, like he's a mate, like it's this, that, and the other. And I'm not saying like now these two are not that, but the perception now is not that, because in this moment, the first few months of the season, they haven't been operating at the level that they did when they first burst onto the scene, which is always more difficult in the second season. We said this as well. It's Cobby's first full season. This is his first ever full season.
And he's never had part of last season because he was
in October last year.
Well.
And look at the state of Man United and what's gone on at Man United in that time.
It was the definition of a meteoric rise in the sense of he didn't even start the season. He probably would have, but he got injured. He came in. One of his first, I think his first start was the game against Everton away, which was 3-0, the Garnacho goal, and he got cleared one off the line in that game. And then even his sort of exploits for England, remember, he wasn't even meant to be called up to the senior squad initially. He got called over to George Park to be with the under-21s, and then he got there, and they were like, actually, you should just be with the senior team. So then he's playing for England, even though...
Then he's on the plane.
And then he's on the plane, and he doesn't start the tournament. Then everyone's like, this team's not really that good. He gets in, and then everyone's like, bloody hell, he's standing out, and he's playing in the final. But that happened to him on so many occasions last season with United, of like not really going to be on the periphery, stays in. Not going to really play for England, called up, in. Not really going to call up to the tournament. It's not going to really play, in, plays into the final. You go like, that's a lot in 9 months. That is a lot. And inevitably, you will not be able to keep that up.
That will slow down. Yeah,
particularly in an underperforming team too. That's the other part of it. Now, I don't think it should go too far the opposite direction, in the sense I've seen this recently where we can't have a conversation about Cobby. Like you're allowed to say, like, for instance, against Wolves, he didn't play very well. And that shouldn't be met with, don't say that. You can't. No. How dare you? It naturally goes, we found our new scapegoat then. It's going to be Cobby Mainoo. And you go, well, he's just not playing very well. Yeah. The issue
against Newcastle, when he came on, he helped us calm it down.
He was much better. Exactly. The issue is with Cobby is just that, and this is, again, it's senior players at Manchester United. All that pressure should not be on him. If he's not playing well, then it should be a case of he can come out the team and we don't have to worry, because we've got senior players that will play and it's fine. They can lift the burden. The fact that Cobby at this stage of his Man United career, at this age, has to shoulder the burden of Manchester United's midfield hopes is mental. But again, that's where I said before, we are starving. We are desperate for a savior. We are desperate for someone to fix us. Whether it be a head coach, whether it be an individual player, whether it be whatever, we are desperate just for someone to be like, pick us up, put us on their back, and we're like, oh, everything's fine now, Flex. It's great. We're scoring goals now. We've got this new poster person. They're not going to let us down, because we kind of did it even recently, again, kind of with Ahmad, scored the goals. And we basically now go like, if Ahmad's playing, give the ball to Ahmad. I've seen myself do that in games. Give the ball to Ahmad.
Everything's got to go through him.
And then,
he's the only one who looks like he's confident, who looks like he can beat a man, who looks like he can do something. And Ahmad's things kind of turned into a lot of like shooting into players, like it's getting blocked. There's 3 guys on him. I think it was 4. There's one clip against Newcastle where he has like 4 guys on him. So he's getting quadrupled up on at the minute. It's not easy. And when you look at, and this is what's very, very alarming when you look at the team, like I don't see what bit of it clicks so that we look all right again. Like I don't see when, I can't see Højlund or Garnacho, Rashford, forget about that now. I can't see at that top end of the pitch. It's only going to be speculative one-offs, goal here or there. I can't see a consistent with this
brilliance, isn't it? It's
individual brilliance. So I don't see a goal here or there. We need, unfortunately for us, we need like some luck, we got a penalty, so it was 1-0 up, so that gave us the basis to defend for a bit, and then we nicked a goal off a corner, then it was 2-0. Like we need, do you know what I mean?
Fraser Forster. We need Fraser Forster in goal to give us the ball twice.
Exactly. I don't see it. I don't see it. I don't see how we just turn this corner and start being good. I mean,
and that's what it feels. That's what it feels like, especially with the games coming up too. So obviously, Liverpool at the weekend. I can't recall a time going into a Liverpool game at Anfield where, I mean, I know obviously last season, but this is worse than last season, where it's so like nailed on that we are losing. You know what I mean? Where it's just like there's oh my god, we're losing. To this level of like pure fear. And the worst thing is, because we've experienced the 7-0, we know,
think it's coming every time.
We that fear is real. Like I remember, I think it was Jose's last game was at Anfield. I remember going into that game thinking, we're going to lose today. But you never thought it's going to be 7-0 or anything like that. But because it's happened to us now, because your worst fear has been realized, you're like, oh my God. It's like, when they say like irrational fears, like spiders, whatever, and they go, well, they're more scared of you than you are of them. So they won't jump on you or anything like that. Well, we've had the spider jump on us. You know what I mean? And we're now worried. Now we're worried going,
use a different analogy, please.
The rat has jumped on us.
Yeah, and, I wouldn't want that to happen, but
and we're like, you know what I mean? So we're like, well, or you're scared of snakes. Well, it's not one's not going to come up from the toilet and bite you on the ass. Well, it did once,
and then it has, yeah.
So now I don't like going.
Did. So I think that's going to happen all the time. Yeah,
every time. Yeah, so that's where it's like. So
because last year, let's be real going into this game. Last year when we were rubbish, like we thought we would get 8-0 then, 7-0 then. We thought this last year. And they thought they would do it to us too. The AGT was like, I'm not celebrating unless it's 5. There's a reason why I said we thought it was in exactly the same position, but worse now. But we were still in a crap position last year. We're losing all these games. We're rubbish. Liverpool are flying. They're going to beat us 7-0. Yeah. And if we do think about football, and this is me being a bit positive, I don't think we will lose 8-9-0, 7-0. I don't. We'll lose comfortably, but I don't think it will be that. Because you can still get battered 5-0. You still get, you know what I mean? Like 4-0. Like it's still gonna be battered.
You know how mad that is? If it was 4-0, we'd be like, I thought it'd be worse. How crazy that is.
Yeah, well, I've predicted 4-0. So what's your prediction? Have you been given one?
No.
The preview's coming out tomorrow, me and AG2. So what do you think?
Yeah, maybe like 4 or 5, maybe. It might be something there. It depends, honestly. It depends how early they score. It depends how early they score.
Oh, we can ask.
we could go on.
Is there any way they can fight and like to get a draw like we did last year? Like you know what I mean? Could they show something where they just fight?
I don't think so because Liverpool are better.
And more ruthless than last year, and they wouldn't allow themselves to be dragged to that.
Yeah.
Because last year 0-0 was actually a really fair result. We went even with the looks at goal. I swear. That Rasmus one, I think we had. Anthony had one, I think.
Yeah. It was like, I mean, they were they had the majority of the ball, but never really like big proper saves from Renault, maybe like 1 or 2. But I tell you what is concerning. I don't know if you saw this. Michael Oliver's the referee.
Yeah,
And he was the ref, and he was the ref last year at Anfield too. Yeah.
Well, if anything, that's good, isn't it?
Well, no, because he sent off Dallo, didn't he, with that whole double yellow card? Remember that?
Oh, did we have 10 men last year?
Yeah, remember that was like last minute, when Dallo and he sort of, I think he got booked for something, and then he shouted at the referee, and he was like, and he was like double red card.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. We had to, but that was near the end though, isn't it?
Right at the end, but it was ridiculous.
I
haven't seen that since from a referee where it was like, and that was it because it was for a throw-in, wasn't it? It was for a throw-in that he made the wrong decision for. It was actually our throw-in, and Dallo went, fuck you. That's wasn't was our throw, and then. And he book in. He's like, oh, fuck off your booking. And he went, red card. Like, what? It's so ridiculous. Yeah.
He's the worst. Yeah. And they're really, that game, there really wasn't a lot in it when we honestly thought like we would lose and lose comfortably. Like we just didn't. Did we play back 5?
We got mocked for
celebrating the draw. Yeah, I don't give a shit, mate. I'm just looking at the highlights now. Is that Luke Shaw left centre back? Oh no, he's left.
Oh, did you see Luke Shaw yesterday, Flex?
Yeah. Oh, for fuck's sake. Yeah. I mean, why?
What on earth? I mean, for those that haven't seen it, there is a TikTok going around. It's got Molly in it and some other people that I don't know, and Luke Shaw like lip syncing to some song. I have no idea what the song is.
No,
but oh my god.
Yeah, because you talk about read the room in it, and you're just like,
that's mean. It's one of those ones where it's like, well, it's not saying you can't have like a personal life or private life or can't have fun or do whatever, but it's one of those ones that you would think that they would go, you probably don't. You know what I mean? Probably don't do that. Sort of thing. It's just no.
I just think it just sums us up, doesn't it? Like it just it does. It just sums us up as to like what we are. We've got, a guy who's, injured for so long. And look, you can do what you want in your life. Hang about who you want. Like, don't just say I'm not going on camera doing that. Just
yeah, I'd rather not.
Just don't. Like, just read the room, bro. Like, again, we don't know what any of these players do in their private lives, but if you make it public, then we know. And it's like, we just don't want to see that. Like, and I'm not even that guy. I'm not even the guy that does the whole like, oh, the players, you shouldn't be playing your PlayStation. You shouldn't get downtime. Why are you going to Winter Wonderland with your family? We're rubbish. Like, why are you going to the cinemas to watch the new Lion King with your little son or something? Like, I'm not that guy. You know what I mean? But
yeah. And I think also the line that he's like lip syncing is not the best line as well.
No,
I mean, talking about, I think it's about benefits and stuff like that. And you're like, yeah, mate, you're a multi-millionaire. Like, it's
just
not.
Don't. No, just don't.
Yeah.
Akil says, if United expect lob passes and set pieces from Liverpool on Sunday, we are walking into real danger. Ask them to play with their striker and not wingers. Yeah, we'll see. And Sakausa says that United should try Osimhen Rashford swap deal. Well, yeah, watch this space on that. Maybe there is some legs in that. Who knows? Right, guys, big up to game double yellow. Double yellow hasn't happened again because normally players aren't stupid enough to insult the ref twice in a row to their face. No, but also it happened when Martinelli got one as well. We didn't even know he got the first yellow.
Well, and also
it was at Wolves.
You've got Mike Dean on commentary doing stuff going, not in this game, Gary. A double yellow for Liverpool Man United at Anfield. Not in this game, Mike. Not in this game, surely.
I know.
In the last minute as well.
I know. It's silly. It's just silly. We're 50 away pretty much. We're pretty much 50 away from 500 on the way out the door. So please do smash a like on the video to get to 500 on the way out. We've got the Trinity coming for you guys later on this evening. Make sure you guys tune in for that. Right there, all the way over there. There you go. There you go. Trinity tonight, 6 p.m. Tune in. And tomorrow we've got the preview going out with AGT, myself and AGT. So check that out, 9 a.m. tomorrow as well. So yes, big up to each and every single one of you. We're getting closer to going to Anfield. We're out of here. Peace.
Oh, it's me.
I've got to do it. Yeah, I'll do it.